the aim of the Happily Imperfect Leader is to show the leadership in all of us. That you really don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be defined by your background. You can achieve whatever you want to achieve in life without really, regardless of who you are and where you're coming from. You can achieve whatever you want to achieve in life. Right, today's interview is with my dear friend Mwape Chibwe, and she's based in Zambia. Mwape has been a friend of mine from when we were young. She's an entrepreneur. She's built a business from ground up, and she works in a predominantly male industry. So today I just want to find out a bit about where she's at, what she's gone through, her achievements, and I want to share with you guys a bit more about my friend. So, without further ado, I'm just going to introduce Mwape. Hi, Mwape, how are you?
Hi, Amina. I'm very well, thanks. And how are you?
Okay, so Mwape, just for the sake of the listeners, and can you please just introduce yourself and tell us about a bit about your background?
My name is Mwape Chibwe. I live in Zambia, born in Zambia, I've lived in Zambia. I finished my grade 12, which is O levels, in 91, and I went into my tertiary education and did a secretarial course, which was not of what I had intended to do. What I had wanted to do was an engineering career. But because of the results that I achieved at my O levels, I was unable to go further and do my engineering course. I ended up doing a secretarial course, which I did not like. The first 4 months of my school, I hated it. But I had somebody who, the mother was a secretary, and he told me the achievement that she has made through going through a secretarial position. And from there, I picked it up. I started loving the career until I finished in 1994. Thereafter, I joined a firm that was from Zambia Limited in 1995. Where I was working as a secretary. Secretarial has been not just a stepping stone. I believe it has helped me to the business career and also just the management aspect. So it was basically my beginning of where I am today.
Okay. So when did you actually leave the secretarial and go into running your own business? And what prompted you to do that?
I was working in the same company. I was working as a secretary. Fortunately, I didn't work for a long time as a secretary. I just worked for less than a year. Within that year, I was moved in 2 departments, went to sales. The next, my boss saw some potential and he promoted me, and I went and opened up a branch in one of our mining towns. And that's where I got interested in what I am doing today, because the line of products and also services that we're doing was to do with what I'm doing today. So that's where the desire of doing what I'm doing today came from.
So just that leads us very nicely to my next question. Can you just tell us a bit about, very quickly, what you're doing today, what the name of your company is, and what it's all about?
What I'm doing today is I'm running a business which is water engineering. This business was registered. I registered. The name is Global Water Resources Zambia Limited. It was registered in 2000, October 2000. I did not pursue to start running it until 2006 because I was still working. I had a formal job. So until before I left Chingola, where I was running a branch, I had a meeting with one of a town clerk who was running a municipal council, and I started asking him about what it is to pursue business and what you want to do. So then he gave me the desire, and he said, you have all that it takes. You have run this company. So it's from there that when I was getting the next job, I told myself I didn't want to work, but I did not want to work. I wanted to run my own business after I'm 35.
Wow, that's great. That sounds to me like that's what most people need. Just that one person that believes in you, that one person that tells you that you can do it. So, in terms of when you started, can you just tell us a bit about any, what are some of the roadblocks that you faced, both as a woman starting out in an engineering business, so to say, and also just where you are in Zambia?
When I just finally made up my mind to quit my formal job in 2006 February, the first thing I did was, because I had my clientele line was the mines and the industries, that is like Zambia boys, they manufacture beers and, drinks. So I went straight to the mines and made an appointment to see one of the senior engineers whom I knew the time I was still working. When I told him what I wanted to register for, he simply told me, this is impossible, you are a woman, and secondly, it's a male-dominated kind of business, which you won't be able to last, and the fact that you have no engineering background, you are not an engineer, it will be very difficult for you to pursue this. So maybe try and think of opening up a saloon or start selling stationery. So wow. It was from that I told him, I said, I have nothing else on mind to do with what you're telling me. I've come here to register with Mopani Mine as a contractor and a supplier, specialized in water recirculation and infrastructure development.
Okay. What about capital? A lot of people say, well, I'll start a business when I have capital. Can you talk a bit about that? How much capital did you have?
I had no capital because I had not received my gratuity. Mm-hmm. Because I did not put in notice. I just decided to resign with immediate effect. So some of the benefits, I lost them out, and I didn't want to start trying to claim. I just went out there. The only thing I had was my small car, which was not even a 4x4, but just a small car to help me around. So I had nothing to say. No, I had something that I could. All that I had was my car and just the money to put in the fuel and run me to the copper belt for the first 3 months.
Wow. What's your greatest achievement to date?
For me, my greatest achievement, I would not say I have achieved, I have built up so many, I have so many, I acquire so many assets in terms of buildings or in terms of vehicles. But one thing my greatest asset that I have is the acknowledgement that I have received from the industry that I am contributing, because this is a water and sanitation industry, and I have managed to get recognition from the technocrats, mm-hmm. also just from business partners as well. They have recognized me and regard my contribution in regard to this industry.
Okay. How do you source your contracts? How easy or how difficult it is to find your contracts?
Any business business is not easy to find. Whether you want to get a contract just to supply tomatoes, it's not easy. So everything has difficulties, but it's in the way that you package your product, in the way that you package your services, and how well you are able to to meet your clients' demands. Because most of the time they are not looking for this big company, they are looking for a company that has credibility, and beyond that company there has to be the face of who are the front runners. So it's from there that they will be able to look at your product and service, and they can buy into that. It is not easy, but I believe that I have never been disadvantaged based on my gender. I've always said that if I lose out on a contract that I have tendered for, it was just not maybe meant for me to have, or maybe the system was just not favorable, but not because I was considered as a woman. That's why I lost out. No.
Wow, that's a very good attitude to have in business, isn't it? It's not not taking things personal. It's a game that we go into. You play it, and some you lose, some you win, as they say.
Yes.
Yeah, great. Congratulations on that. So, Mwape, can you just tell us any situation what was the lowest point? Have you ever had the lowest point in your business where you've almost given up? And how you've managed to come out of that on the other side?
I've had a couple of my lowest moments, but I think the first moment, which was for me was my a learning process, was immediately that I ventured into this line of business. We tendered with the mines, and immediately we were given a contract in 2006 worth $1 million. A company that had not been in existence for a long time, and I was so excited. Little did I know that it came with a lot of demands. I needed to get a lot of resources, and I looked to the bank to see if they could finance 600,000 worth of goods, and they could not do that. So in the long run, we ended up, losing that contract. And I was just starting, and I felt like truly words that that engineer, Patrick, had said, I think I've come into the wrong industry. And that's what I wanted to try and pack up just in the beginning. But from that time, I have faced challenges, but not even one day have I looked back to say, no, I think this is not worth it. Let me try something else. No.
Yeah. Would you say that's the importance of doing something that you really enjoy, something that you're passionate about? Because it sounds like no matter what happens, you can still keep going.
Yes, it's what will always keep you is that idea that you had, and that's what you had envisioned for this business to be, and that's what keeps you going. If you are passionate about something, I'm passionate about being in the water industry, because for me it's not about just making money, but I also want to contribute towards providing safe drinking water, and that will not come until there are proper technologies that are being provided that are safe to the environment and also safe to the human beings. So it's, for me, it's passionate about seeing this industry grow and seeing Zambia acquire the status of providing safe drinking water and sanitation to every Zambian.
So what advice would you have to somebody who is just starting out, or somebody who's just thinking they need to leave their job, they need to get into business?
The advice that I can give is you have to have an idea. What do you want to do, and where do you want this to end up? Sometimes it may not end up to what you had wanted, but what do you want to do? What are you passionate? If it does not, you face hurdles, are you still going to still stand or pick up the pieces and still trust that this thing will work? So for me, I believe that it's not about the resources. I was telling somebody 2 days ago, I said, you don't need money to start a business. What I need to hear from you, give me the idea, what you want to do with yourself. Then from there, you can start and anybody else will buy into your idea. The idea that you have is the capital that you can grow your company to become a Bill Gates.
Wow. I like that. So if somebody wanted to get in touch with Global Water or yourself, somebody somewhere in another country wants to do similar things or they want to partner with you, how would they reach you?
For now, what we have is we can be accessed through the internet. We are not yet, we are still trying to create our website, but we are reachable on email. We are also reachable. You are able to get us on WhatsApp. You can also get us on our landline. And we also, where we are operating from, we are operating in Lusaka, the central business of town.
We'll put the details together with this recording, so for anyone who wants to catch you. Wow, is there anything else that you want to share that we haven't covered?
There's something that I want to share. 2 years ago, I went to see one of the richest in our country, and I just wanted to talk to him and find out what it is to run a business and grow a business. So when I got into his office, we sat down, and he looked at me and he said, "Is everything okay?" I just said, "No, I've got a headache." Then he told me that the first important asset into any business is yourself, your mental being, your physical being, and your spiritual being. As long as these three things are well and sound, you yourself as a person is important. Your well-being is important before you can endeavor to do any kind of business. And from that day, I said, no matter what challenges I have, I always think about how is my well-being. If I push myself against this, am I not pushing my health against, through the wall? So my well-being comes first. The well-being of my family is second. Then we get to do business.
Thank you very much for that. Wow, Mwape, it's been lovely talking to you. And I will post this on YouTube, and hopefully we'll get to speak to you again soon. Always a pleasure for me to talk to people who are passionate about what they do, who are passionate about their business, and who are passionate about changing the world. Mwape, thank you again. And for everybody else listening out there, I hope you picked up something from this interview. If you have any questions, please leave them down below in the message section. You can just type in Amina Chitembo on the internet, any of the social media sites. You will find me. So hope to speak to you again soon. Take care and have a lovely day, whatever you're doing. Wishing you every success in life. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.